Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parshas Emor. This series is dedicated to Refuah Shleimah for my father, Naftali ben Yita. This Vort is adopted from Rabbi Schwab's Sefer Maayan, Bais Hashoeivah. In Parak Chav Gimel Pasuk Yud, Pasuk says, "Vavesem Omer Reishes Ketzirchem," that you shall bring the Omer offering from the first of your harvest. Rabbi Schwab connects several things that I find topical to an important lesson. So he connects the Omer, and we're counting the Sefiras HaOmer right now. He connects it to the offering of the Sota, and the good Daf Yomi is learning Sota right now. And we just celebrated Eretz Yisrael's the 75th year of the Medina, as well as people may very well be listening for have celebrated a circumcision, the Bris Mila, a family mess pretty recently or coming up shortly. So the lesson is that barley is the primarily used for animal food. Yet when it comes to bringing the Omer comes from barley that has been reaped specifically for the purpose that it will be brought on the altar, on the Mitzbeich, and it is also sifted 13 times so that it becomes very refined. And this teaches a lesson that even animal food, if it's done with intent and with holiness, can be elevated to something that is brought upon the altar in the Mishkan or the Mikdash. And that tells us the lesson of what we are capable of, that even though we have our own animalistic drives, by paying attention, acting in the proper way, we can elevate ourselves to find favor in God's eyes. So this understanding relates to the Omer, because when we count Sefiras HaOmer every night, 49 nights from the second night of Pesach until Shavuos, so that says a language there that we do it standing bakoma. And bakoma is similar to the word bakama, which means a standing crop. And you start the counting beginning with when the sickle is first put into the standing crop. So this is not just a play on words, but this cognate is important, because the mitzvah of Omer begins with the severing of the standing barley from its grounding in earth. And then it's progressively refined and processed until it's brought onto the altar. So too, when we count the Sefiras HaOmer, that's for us to cut ourselves up from our physical compulsions and to elevate ourselves so that, we'll be refined, and the first period will be coming to the Shavuos, but we should continually refine ourselves, not just during the sphere counting. So now we can move on to the Mila, the circumcision. And where's the Mila done? The circumcision is done in the part of the body connected most to the most physical of urges. And yet, by doing this, the entire body becomes sanctified. So, there's a reference in Bereshis that says that when the covenant that Avram was supposed to do was not just the Bris Mila, but also the Omer, and for that he was rewarded with the land of Canaan. Why was it the land of Canaan? Canaan was a very base, very physical land, and was very impure. Yet Hashem took this same land and he put it into his 10 different levels of Kedusha, and now Eretz Yisrael is the most sanctified place on earth. So you can take this lowly land of the Canaanim and make it a holy land of the Bnei Yisrael. But finally, we'll come up with the connected to Sota, the same type of lesson. The Sota is not the offering that's brought is not meant to be for the person who actually the wife who committed actual adultery, but it's actually meant, the purpose is to clear a woman who's innocent of actual adultery, and then she can be rewarded by this. It's not about that she did something, the ultimate of the sins, but that she acted in an animalistic way, and the Gemara says, and that's why her korban is also from animal feed, mida keneged mida. But it tells us the lesson that even though she did do something wrong, she acted like an animal, she too can be elevated and rewarded, that she'd even be blessed with children if she didn't have children beforehand. So that's our lesson to take away from here, that Rabbi Schwab is teaching us from this pasuk, that we have the opportunity to elevate our baser instincts, continually refine ourselves, so that we can be proper servants for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we should be zocheh to bring the Refuah Shleimah b'imhera. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.